This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so I shouldn't be cutting out anymore because I'm using a wired microphone and wired headphones. I kept getting complaints that my audio would sound ratchety or cut in and out or something. So, am I too loud or too soft or
It is sound nice and deep.
quiet?
It's sexy
I'm
sounding.
about to bug out. I said somebody pull up. I'll be back.
I'm
Okay.
kind of looking for a traffic report or something from you, Brian.
A what? Oh,
Traffic report.
why? Why? Because the mic?
Yeah. I need a 5 o'clock
Yeah.
update. What are we looking at here? What's the commute looking like?
I don't know. I haven't commuted anywhere in a long time. I'm a hermit.
It's looking pretty good, right?
Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's get going. So we've been talking, and I've said this before, but Chris's, how do I do this? The team is gonna help keep me motivated to start marketing this webinar again and getting, you know what I mean? Try to bring some structure back into it again. We'll try. So other than that, if we have anybody that has anything, do we need to do the thing that where's Jim? Where's our producer? We gotta do the intros.
Hightail it.
Oh, that's right, he did. Um, well, I'm Brian. I guess everybody. What about Rich? Are you new, Rich? Or have you been on before?
He's been on. He's the one that blew out
Has
the
he?
door in the shop, I think.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Well, do we have a topic?
I
I got a
thought of
couple
one.
stupid questions.
You got a bunch of stupid
What's that,
questions.
Tommy?
I got a couple stupid questions,
Let's do it.
There are no stupid questions.
and I haven't. Well, see, that's the thing. I haven't heard you talk about it, so I'm curious, and it will save me a hell of a learning curve. Okay, so we all know that Lightburn comes with the CO2 lasers. Lightburn comes with the fiber. However, the Galvo Lightburn is a little different, but it's not two programs, or is it
It's
two
Right.
separate?
two
No, there's
licenses
not
One
two.
program.
you add on.
The license, the way that Lightburn works, there's really only one version ever anywhere, and it's all what's open or closed or what shows up or what, you know, something. Some menus are Galvo specific, some are DSP specific, and he's figured out a way to make a lot of that stuff hide unless you have the particular device selected. So and it's by license keys. So you have a DSP key that came with the Nova. If you were going to run a fiber on it, um, you'd have to get an add-on key, or you could buy a separate one. So there's two ways to do that part too. And Lightburn only works with the non-pros, with the ones that run EasyCAD 2. So
Okay.
are you are you looking to? I know you run multiple computers and multiple lasers. Are you going to expand that further?
It already has been expanded. It's on its way.
Well, it's already been ordered.
Okay. All right. So if it's a non-pro, is it a Thunder?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Really?
Okay. Well, I mean, hey, some of those ones, you know, the eBay ones for $2,000, you know, some, you know, it's.
They look
I
good.
know
They're appetizing.
It's the comfortable for tech support and to get our questions answered. Yes, I could have got one cheaper, but I can't send an email or whatnot to go, okay, I screwed something up, you know.
But you guys are so great that that's why we have to stay with Thunder.
Awesome. Okay, so
No, that's the
if
question
So,
you,
yes.
is,
You have to buy
okay,
the key for the Galvo. We
okay,
don't
it does
supply
not
it
come
yet.
with the Aurora.
No, not yet.
no, it doesn't. But because some of them work with it and some of them don't, we don't really have a way to manage that. Do we give everybody a key and half of them don't use it? You know what I mean? So it gets kind of right now until Lightburn fully supports all of the versions of the Aurora, we might hold off on that. See what I mean? Because that creates kind of a
I mean, it
problem.
should just be an
So
add-on for you, Tommy.
there's two ways to do it. There's an add-on, which is let me pull up their store and I'll pull it up on here.
so we have, and what we're probably going to wind up doing is just doing away with what we have and then using the original key because we didn't actually get a key with the 50 or the 80 because
You
for
should.
some reason we were looking at emails.
We looked through our emails and we couldn't find one. So we
But-
still have the key from when we bought the 51 130 though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just
So-
am tired of seeing another brand name pop up when I open Lightburn and I'm like, to either say nothing or to say
Yeah.
Thunder.
On the key, you can, and I think there might be a way to merge those keys because you should get one. You should have two Lightburn keys. If you don't, we'll give you the one. You know what I mean for the other machine. There may be a way to add those. I'll have to check. We'll have to check with Lightburn on that. But you can put a. Let me find it. It's the cameras software.
Well, if you have the
Two.
second key when it comes up to your renewal, couldn't you just add the second key in and it would just extend it out even further if you just sit on the key for a year?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Well, I don't think it works that way.
Well, this is a thought. I mean, it's only $25 or whatever it is for the renewal, but
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
It's not about that. I'm just making sure we do the right things, and I wasn't aware that Lightburn
Okay.
didn't come with it. I figured it would have with the non-pros.
Let me see. I'll pull this up so you can.
But I don't give a shit. I'll buy the key. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the options, and they got a bunch of different options. So there's the Galvo license key, just the straight out key. They give you a key, and it's Galvo only if you enter it in. See what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's 150. What this is a DSP plus Galvo, and that does the Ruida controllers and others, and the Galvo, and
Oh, I
there's
see.
an add-on.
Galvo. Yep.
Yeah.
Hey,
So what you do is take the key that you have for your DSP license, go
Yeah.
here to the add-on and put your key in, and then
Okay.
you just pay $90. And what it does, it adds the Galvo's machines to the capabilities of the Lightburn you're running right now. See?
Is anybody
So
else
it'll
getting
open up
audio
Galvo.
issues?
I would
Yeah.
say
Yeah,
I
but I
hate to
wasn't gonna
break
say
your
anything.
I hate to break your heart,
I
Brian,
wasn't
but
gonna
you're
say-
yeah, I was getting right because I was like, I hate to break your heart, but
Are you serious?
your problem is
But
not
it
resolved.
only
It
it
sounds
only
like a
started when you
cord.
shared when you started
Yeah.
sharing the screen. It started
Yeah,
It got worse.
and then it sounds like when you're moving,
like system
it's
resource
interrupting.
heavy.
Yeah.
Time for a new computer, Brian.
Or shut down monitors. We
Now I
lost them
can't hear
completely.
Mel.
Okay. Can you hear me?
There we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me change my speakers because now I can't hear you. I just need to quit this thing. Okay. Somebody say something.
Hi.
Can you hear me now?
Are y'all messing with me? No.
No,
Okay, I
we
can
really
hear
did
now.
talk.
That's great. Chris, I'm gonna let you take over.
Wilco,
I'm gonna fix
or-
this.
Yeah, we didn't
Whoever.
think about it. We all could have just moved our mouths and made it look fake, but he thought we were being fake.
I think he's gonna rejoin. All right, so
Yeah.
so the gist of it is you got to do an update on your license. It's not too bad. What I don't know, what would be interesting is if you're almost near your expiration of your 1 year license anyway,
We are.
if you get the Galvo, does that reset the year for you? Because that's almost like a savings of $30. I don't know if they do that
That's
or
why I
not.
was saying, even though they're up for the year on the 51, they would not be up for the year on the 80. So if they would just start the key on the 80, that would give them a year.
Yeah.
Well,
on that.
I'm still running my key from my other brand laser.
Machine.
I never used a Thunder key that was emailed, so I've never done anything with those.
So-
And right now we are technically out of updates, but we've been waiting to do anything until there was another update because it didn't make sense to waste that time. You know what I'm
So
saying?
literally, you guys are sitting on a key for a 51, a key for an 80, and you never use either one of them.
Yeah, because I have Lightburn on a computer in the house that we really don't use it on, and then I have Lightburn on my laptop, which is what gets used 99.9% of the time.
I would message them and see if you could turn in one of the keys for the Galvo upgrade, and they'll recirculate the key possibly. I don't know if it's possible or if you're just screwed on that, but it's worth a shot. Try it.
But at least you know you've got a full year sitting on either one of those two keys, so you don't need to buy the full version. You can just buy the update.
Exactly.
The
Yeah, I
add-on.
mean, it's all business expenses. It's all part of doing business. So it's not,
Yes, I put in a request to see about getting you a key. You should have gotten one with your refurb.
Yeah, and we may have
And if
misplaced the
I
email
know.
or something.
No,
We
I didn't
certainly-
see one in the list. I'll pull up whether or not one was sent to you, but I
Okay.
didn't see one in the list. Only saw
Okay.
one Norris on there.
I
Okay.
got a raised hand. I got two raised hands.
Okay, can you hear me now?
No.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I had my mic off for a while. Y'all didn't hear me cussing, did you?
Yes.
No.
It came in like every third
Sorry.
word.
Our lips are sealed.
Okay,
You'll
I
find
might
out
have
when
to
you
accidentally
publish
erase this one.
Watch it before you post it.
And it ain't even my fault this time.
Yeah. So
But
did we
that at least-
confuse you good on the keys?
Yeah.
No,
think we're
I
good.
think I understand it, and that's all that matters.
I'll just hand her the
Um,
credit card. I don't care.
I'm not going
Well-
to screen share anymore, and I'll put that link to that page in Lightburn in the chat so you can go to it and look at it and read it if you want to or whatever. Use it.
Thank you.
The other opportunity is to get a Windows computer and run EasyCAD 2 on it.
No.
We actually have
There's always
one Windows computer, and that's what I use for the CNC
Well-
because Vectrix only runs on Windows.
No. We have a lot of Windows computers.
They just don't work worth a shit.
We just don't use
Well, it's
them.
because they're
So
from Windows 95.
No, they're
that
not.
that actually worked well.
Yeah, I don't know what they are. No, I've got one that sits right over by my
It was
printers.
Windows ME
for
is what they got.
printing labels, and that's all I
Ooh, yeah.
use it for. It's a
Millennium?
nightmare for even.
ME was complete trash, kind of like Windows 8.
So horrible. And
I'll
now
take
there's
Windows
rumors,
7.
There's rumors that 12 is on the horizon.
Windows 10 was
Probably
supposed to
because
be
11
it.
doesn't work.
Windows
Y'all
10 was
just keep
supposed to
on
be it.
dreaming for something good.
Is anybody running 11?
Yes.
Mhm.
Is it how bad is it? Because I've not switched. I keep getting
Crappy.
the request and I haven't done it.
It's just a different skin, basically. I mean,
So
I don't know.
the first thing I did, I just got a brand new Lenovo a couple weeks ago, jam up thing. First thing I did was install software to revert it back to a Windows 7 look and feel for the start bar.
Mhm.
I've got regular menus. I don't have, it's not like all this stupid app related stuff. It looks like Windows 7, and that's all I need. I fixed my
what?
taskbar, everything looks good.
What did you just say? Appellated?
Yeah, no apps. Like Windows 8 and all and beyond has always been like, oh, it's apps. It's apps. We're gonna have this little springboard of apps. No, I want my start menu with my commonly used, my recent items, and then I want my all programs. I don't
I
need
wish
all
to go
that.
back to I like to have back the Windows XP for the start menu because it was just
Yeah.
plain, simple, clean, and fast.
Yeah, that's basically what I've got. It's a classic shell program, and then there was another one that I had to get to work with Windows 11. But yeah,
Yeah.
reverting
You can
all that stuff
also,
back.
I think you can also go into the performance in the system settings and choose custom and make it where it doesn't do a lot of things like put shadows around picture boxes and things like that. And it helps with the performance, but you can get pretty close, skin
just
it back
tried
a little bit too.
They just try to do the fancy shit, unnecessary stuff like Max, and it's just
Mhm.
not working, and it's useless shit. It's
So
performance and
But
degrading.
from a Lightburn standpoint, it works phenomenal with it so far.
yeah,
Everything I've done with Lightburn and it has worked. Not to mention that Lightburn does have some glitches still that are in need of fixing, but the Windows 11 environment works for it.
I was expecting problems when Windows 11 started deploying a little more rapidly,
Yeah.
with that, but it's been pretty seamless.
Yeah, I'm just
So-
worried that Windows 11 was too buggy, so I haven't bothered to migrate
I'm
it
too
over.
cheap to buy a computer that'll run it, so I don't want to switch.
So here's the next silly question. It's the low roller that goes with the Aurora. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
If you
Yep,
want the
and
roller, yeah.
and it has to be wired for the Aurora pin. So if you buy one that is meant for a gantry, you just take the 4 wires and you swap them around and it works.
Yeah, they're not. You can't take a Nova rotary and plug it into the Aurora. The pin outs are different. We tried to see if it could be standardized, but it just can't be at this time. So
You
they're
know,
not
it
hot
just
swappable.
doesn't make an adapter
What's that?
so that you can buy one
Well,
of them and just plug an adapter on and it makes it work with the other machine.
the
Might be able to
issue
do that.
is the EasyCAD boards that JCZ or whatever it is a ground reference common, whereas the Galvo Rui or the Gantry Ruidas is a 5 volt common pin. So the output from the controller for your fiber outputs a 5 volt signal to pulse and direction, whereas when the Ruida does it, it's a ground signal. So the way those 7-pin connectors made with the jumpers and everything, it just doesn't work. I tried. There's just
If there were an adapter, they would have to have some logic and some electronics in it to
yeah.
process and invert that and stuff like that. So it's not a simple,
It
Not
would
just
have
a
to, it would have
around.
to translate it from one language to another
Okay, so there'd have
through.
so not
Yeah.
just like a plug adapter, but a box in the middle somewhere to do the things.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I doubt. Yeah.
It'd be
That
like
works.
you trying to
And
talk
you-
to somebody. It'd be like to be like talking to somebody. You talking to somebody in Russian. You'd have to have a translator in a box, so you could
Thank
talk.
you.
basically. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
you
why.
don't
That's
you
why
don't
I
want a
asked it. Go
you
ahead,
don't
Lo-
want a
say Lo-
junior.
No,
You
you
don't
want
want
the
a
low
junior
roller.
on there either. You want the low
Okay.
roller.
Well, that was the thing, was we didn't know, and y'all just clarified that because we're about to get 400 more tumblers. So it would have been a easy purchase to know, okay, well, I can have 2 lasers running with the rotaries at the
Mhm.
same time, and then that one can just plug and play if we ever needed it. But now it's a dedicated to the fiber, so I
You-
can't do what I was hoping to do with it.
Well, the 4 wires that plug into the rotary's gray connector, you just have to take it's 2 pairs. You take the 2 pairs and you swap them one and one with each other, and then you rotate the wires around, which sounds kind of funny, but that's how it is. It's just they swap side to side, and then the up and down change, and it works. So the rotary will function on either machine. It's just you've got to change the 4 wires around.
I
You
just got to
gotta-
rewire.
Yes.
but
At the
this is
motor.
not- but this is not a one day I'm using it on one machine, the next day I'm using it on a different machine, and then I'm going back to the first machine.
No, but
And
I get it.
to be honest with you, run it on the CO2. The CO2 is much faster for heavy production like that for
Well,
the tumblers.
but if you're
Depends
trying
on
to
the size
do
of the graphic and stuff like that. It just depends.
direct marking on stainless versus using those sprays and stuff, that's really probably the only
Right.
spot I would use it. Or color marking if you had a MOPA.
Are you guys just
Mhm.
doing normal tumblers that's powder coated? Yeah,
Much faster
For now.
on
turn the CO2.
much faster on the CO2.
But
I haven't even
asked
tried a tumbler on that.
Oh
for
man,
versatility.
that
Yeah,
was
just
deep.
a
Yeah.
regular
It'll be much faster on the CO2.
double-sided.
Now, another cool thing about the Galvos is the ability to do those photo engraves. I need to mesh that on a tumbler. I can do it on my Odin pretty well. Doing like photorealistic stuff.
Mhm.
Got to see what it'll do on the Nova. That'd be another opportunity just because the bean spot's so small. You can do some really cool stuff.
Yeah, the fiber lasers make everybody excellent at photos.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really?
oh.
It does. It does. No,
So,
no,
Hey,
seriously.
we
It is the
recorded
easy
it.
button.
so can I stack my 1 hour training from all my machines on the fiber when I get it?
With one
Sure.
caveat, they're with Loco only.
Okay.
It
3
has
hours.
to be 3 hours.
3 hours.
We'll have an intermission, get
No
popcorn
breaks.
and snacks.
A lunch break.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, of
You have to
course.
fly here. You have to fly here to do it.
You ever tried to pop corn with a laser?
Ooh, that's a good
Don't
idea.
tempt me.
Mhm.
You could get like a 6-inch lens, or just take the lens out. Use the raw
Yeah.
far field beam, 6 millimeter. Crank her up. Set your kerf to a 1/4 inch. Your scan offset. I mean the line interval to a 1/4 inch.
Do an offset fill. Just have it go around.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what needs to happen. You need to try it.
A
All
fancy
right, I'll
jiffy
put it in a
ball.
pan. I'll put it in a pan and I'll do it.
One
Butter,
one
lots
right
of
way
butter.
to pop popcorn.
Hey,
Thunder
it'll
pop
be delicious.
if it works. That's what.
But wait, you're not
Will
Yeah.
it
supposed to
laser?
have your laser.
Huh?
But you're not supposed to eat stuff out of your laser. Everybody freaks out about that.
I'll take it
My
out and then I'll eat it.
Exactly.
If I was gonna sell stuff to people, like if I was a bakery or something, and I was engraving on that fond, whatever they call that stuff they put on it, fondant or whatever it is.
Bonded.
Yeah, yeah. I I don't know if I would, just because it'd be too easy for somebody to sue you and say, "Oh, I got a piece of metal in my cake and it had to come from your laser." You know what I mean? That would be what I'd be worried about more than anything, is
I'm just
that
waiting
kind
for
of
Loco
stuff.
to show us how to do tats.
I mean, if you're eating fondant, I mean, you probably get your case thrown out in court. Nobody's that. Fondant's disgusting.
I just want to make a really pretty creme brulee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Loco to show us how to do tats with the fiber.
Or remove them.
Oh God, that would
Remove them.
hurt.
Remove them.
It's called branding.
My
Uh,
son's
It's
willing.
man,
My
talk
son
about
said he was
dialing
actually
in a material, you
Yeah.
know?
My son is actually willing to let me use the laser on his arm.
I got leather settings, you know.
Same difference. I think here in the next week or so, we're gonna put in switches for the lights.
Mhm.
We had a hell of a time seeing the red dot cutting black HDPE, which
Mhm.
I don't recommend anybody ever putting white in their laser.
I
I
saw
don't
that
know.
post.
Oh man, that was disgusting.
It was so, you know, when you see people making cotton candy and there's just like stuff flying in the air,
Mhm.
that was
that's how.
inside of my machine with the white HDPE. It was horrible. Had to stop, clean the machine out completely, and then
Yuck.
we had the actual project of a full 4x8 sheet of black HDPE, which thankfully wasn't nearly as messy, much more effective at cutting and all of the things. The white was just terrible.
Mhm.
And then the thorough deep cleaning of the machine again.
But would you believe that we didn't have to touch the lens? 8.5 hours of cutting. Never touched the lens once. It stayed clean the entire time.
If you run an
Nice.
air, yeah.
I was pretty impressed.
Everything else was disgusting, but you know.
All right. So, do we take our intermission and see if Loco's got some popcorn nearby, or do you have another? You said you had a bunch of stupid questions. Do you have another stupid
I've got,
question? And none of those are stupid.
damn, I got two of them out of the
I have
equation.
popcorn.
Okay.
No, we're
You're gonna
prepping
you're
the
gonna make me do
space.
it, aren't you?
Yeah, which
Let's not do a video on
faster,
it. I
the
want to see it.
fiber or the CO2?
Yeah.
I would do it on the CO2.
No, I mean you got to test both of them and see which one does it more efficiently.
I think the CO2 will do it more efficiently. There's only one way to find out, right?
Hey, wide open. You can run these things 100%. So,
Burnt popcorn
so
smell in your shop. Yum.
yeah. So what you got next? Unless somebody else wants to jump in. I saw Danny jump in there. Hey, what you got, Tommy?
Oh, nothing. It was just, and I just got to relook at the photos on the website. We're getting the space set up, and I'm figuring out where the exhaust has to go, how much room I
Hmm.
need from behind it. Like the CO2s, you need a good foot to deal with the hose and whatnot. I just got to figure out how much behind the machine do I need to deal with the
Yeah.
exhaust and things of that nature.
It's got similar connectors to what's on the Nova. It's got the PowerCon, the twist lock for
Yep.
the main power, and then the C13s or 14s, whatever they are, for the air. Well, I don't think there's an air. Is there an airport? Probably not, but the exhaust port anyway.
No,
But it doesn't
it's
take
the eas-
much because huh?
it's the easiest machine to set up.
Just get you a
Yeah.
glass cutter, set it there in front of that window, cut a perfectly round hole in the glass, and then we can port it out the window, and then you're fine.
I already told him I'd run it through the window, but it's
I
just
mean,
knowing, other space for the cabinet that we bought for it to sit on and stuff.
but you got to get him to cut the hole in the glass, though. It's got to be perfectly
How
round, and so put it through
how
to fit
tall
it.
is your cabinet?
It's a kitchen base
It's a
cabinet.
kitchen-based cabinet.
So 30 inches.
I don't know.
The reason why I ask is I've got mine probably 3 foot or 40 inches above the ground, and I'd like to raise it up even higher, just so that my
Really?
eyes are. Yeah,
Okay.
I like to put
So,
this thing
so you can
probably.
look up into the bed.
Yeah, I like probably
Like
about
this?
5 foot.
So
I like
it's
yeah.
30. It's 34 and a half right now. Plus we'll put a countertop on it. But realize she's like 5 foot nothing. So if I
So
get it too
I'm
tall,
38 and a half.
I was gonna say she's short, so
That's all
She
mine.
said, "I'm
Wilco,
5'2". He's gonna measure her.
Wilco, when you leave one of those
Yep.
7-Elevens in Florida, how tall are you?
bottom of the
Little more.
machine will come out right.
To my belly button.
It starts at me. It says Chris,
Because
and then it starts with the height.
He put it on there with a piece of masking tape.
I guess where I'm going with this is, he's got it almost 36 inches, and you can see where he's standing next to it. Even for his application, another 8 inches probably wouldn't hurt, in my opinion. Like I
Higher?
said, I love putting mine. I want to put it up higher.
So
I'm
you want
probably
it
gonna take
eye
some of these.
level. You want it like here. I mean,
Yeah, so when I open it up, that handle is above my eyelids, so that I can see inside
I
of
get
there.
the question I have is how much dust is on Brian's handle?
None.
that.
My grandson tests that pulley assembly thousands of times a week, so it gets used.
But no, it's. I built a
And
custom stand for it,
the
and I'd like to go more.
I did notice some dust in the machine, which wasn't there. And then I looked down and noticed that my BOFA filter's like blinking at me. All the lights are on. So I need to go through the filters and maybe think about hooking into my other stuff and just exhausting it instead of running. But I like the filter a lot, a whole lot, especially because I can take it somewhere if I needed to. So that's neat. So. And maybe I can do like you did the air filters, in your car. You just go out, bang them on the side of the house a couple times, knock the stuff out and put it back in there.
Yeah.
I had something done for the first time to any vehicle I had any remote thing of ever owning, which is my wife's car. I'm only saying that because my name's on it. The cabin filter being changed. I have never ever changed the cabin filter in my car. And they go, well, you have told her when she took it in, she's like, you have to do this because of maintenance and all this other stuff. And she's a health nut. So she's like, well, could you get all this mold and stuff in there and you're just sucking it in? And I told her, I said, I called bullshit just because changing that filter was ridiculous. And then she brought it
So,
home to me. And I was like, well, maybe it did need it changed. It was like black
so
and full
yeah.
of shit.
So mice can actually get into the engine of my van. And inside the van, which is super fun. I got a detail out of that one. But they can get in to that cabin filter and chew and then do what they do after they eat on my cabin air filter. So I regularly check that. Even it's a pain in the behind to get to. You got to take the glove box out, all the things. But you can go ahead and let your wife know. I spray peppermint essential oil on it too to help keep the mice off of it.
I
Watch out
just
for
went out.
cats too.
I just went out there and looked at both of my vehicles because they hadn't been started since I don't think winter. And I lifted the hood before I even started them. Both of them have complete nests on top of both the engines. I'm like, you
Yep.
son of bitching animals. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna start this
Popcorn.
one. It's gonna catch on fire. Well, the one on
Well,
top of my truck, my one that's on the truck it's all pine needles. So, I mean, I knew
He's
that
gonna
was going.
draw. He's gonna draw
So
a 3.5 inch circle with offset fill now.
okay, so is that with butter though? It looked like it was
right?
clumped like it had butter out of like the
D-
microwave bag,
can,
you know?
I wonder if it is. What's the difference between corn that you pick off of a cob and popcorn? Is it? I mean, do they put a little drop of water in there or something, or how does that work? Even can you pop a regular corn cob? Like if I threw a corn cob in the bonfire, would it pop like popcorn? Because they look
It,
different to me. Danny's shaking his head. He knows.
it's a breed thing. It's a genetics thing. Like you can buy
I
popcorn on the cob even.
All right.
Because I thought they had
Oh,
somebody take
all right.
a needle and inject a little thing of water into each kernel, so that
Get
it
on
will
his
have
thing.
moisture in it to exploit.
Before his
What?
camera popped up, I was like, who the hell's Dr. Thunder? And then his picture popped up.
Hey,
Here, bring the
Chris,
medicine, baby.
Chris, your
You're muted.
microphone's off.
So,
You're just in time.
Lois,
Yeah,
y'all
Yeah,
should
we're getting ready to do
check
an
your
experiment, Grant.
check your
I
email.
got the email. I got the email, Chris. Thank you. And thank you, Grant, for all your help this week.
I got you.
What do you think? 90% power?
No, let's go 100. Just go at
No.
it.
There's
But 20 watt.
there's not a
I mean,
whole
think
lot of
about it.
difference.
Your microwave
I
is
know.
1,000 watt probably, and it takes minutes to pop that, and you got a little 20-watt laser.
What do you mean 20-watt lead?
He's got a
Are you gonna
130.
put this in the Nova 623?
Oh
Are
no,
you
it's going in the
are
Nova.
you
It's going in the Nova.
Okay.
He's got to
are
try them
you
on all
gonna
three lasers. He's got to do it on all
you gonna
three.
take the nozzle out? Do you think it would
I don't. Yeah.
do you think it'd be too dispersed?
No, I think that's perfect. I think that's a great idea.
Just
I
defocus a
Because
like that.
little
I like
bit.
that you know the exact
well,
diameter of a whiskey glass, which is really
fo-
cool too.
focal point won't matter. Get it as close to the mirror as you can. If he's gonna take the lens out,
Now, he needs to get a stopwatch so he can do this on all three lasers because we need to do a timeline of how long it takes on each laser.
This is where these little things come in really handy, Chris.
Oh, nice. What the plug?
I love those. I love those.
What is that? What was that?
What?
This is the honeycomb pin. I think he's gonna put his camera on it or something.
Yeah, the camera's on it. Yeah, I have my just to keep it from moving. Can you guys see it? Is it there?
yeah,
Yep.
it's
There you
there.
go.
Perfect.
You gonna frame it first?
Ooh. So
Nope.
speaking of frame, once we get past this, I've got a topic about Lightburn framing and the origin setup.
Well,
There's a
yeah.
bug.
Thank you for saying origin setup. I need to
Yeah.
center out.
If anybody's doing rotaries lately, watch out for light burn 1. I think even 3 and 3.1 both will screw up the origin. Ooh,
Might be a fire.
Is that got like butter and
See,
oil on it?
close the lid and see
Oh,
if
we
the
got
heat sensor
both!
works.
Turn the air on.
Hey, there's a pop.
It's not diffused enough.
I think it
That's
popped though.
insane.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought one was fixing as the mound started moving. I thought we were gonna get some pop.
Man, wouldn't it be cool if we did?
It's all about the heat.
I think
not the point.
the heat's still too localized. I think even
Yeah. Well,
Probably
we can
need to
fix
put a
that.
little bit of water in there with them. It'll help smooth out some of that.
yeah.
It'll be
And then
soggy
hold the
when it
test
pops,
button
but
until it starts boiling.
Shit we come up with.
Okay.
There you go.
You
That's
trying
as
to make
far down
popcorn?
as it's gonna go.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Thanks
He
for
was trying
catching
to
up,
pop
Brad.
popcorn in the laser.
somewhere
Okay.
in the south, somebody's gonna throw that in a bottle of Coca-Cola, and that'll be their next drink. They do
Awesome.
All right,
that.
that's the
No,
fusers
they
it's
put
gonna get.
peanuts. They put peanuts in it,
well,
not
yeah,
Peanuts.
peanuts. Peanuts.
So
And
Chris,
it's peanuts and Dr. Pepper.
Oh.
so Chris, you said something about the origin with rotaries. We just run that cup yesterday and never had an issue. Is it just a glitch in the matrix that could happen?
Well, I think what it stems from is when you swap between device profiles. So I've got the Nova and the Odin. Typically, I'm engraving on my Odin and cutting on my Nova, just because the way I've got them set up. So every time I open up Lightburn, Nova's default. I swapped over to my Odin, had the origin, the green square was right, everything was right. Set this glass up. It was for my buddy. And I sent it down to the machine, and I framed the sucker probably 20 times, and it framed in the right spots. Frame, frame, frame. Hit the start button. It rotates and starts engraving basically where it should have been the end, even though it had represented the green square on the left middle like I wanted to. When I went to the little 9 radio buttons, it was in the top left, but it framed right, which is odd, and then it engraved. The other thing that can cause that is if you have the return to set to I think origin. If it's not like no return or if it's set to no return, it will also screw up your rotary for some reason. But yeah, that got me. So this is a one-off glass. It got ruined. And sure enough, what I did is I went back to Lightburn. I clicked the 9 radio away, clicked the 9 radio button back to where I wanted it, sent the file, framed it, and ran it, and it did fine after that. But other people have seen that origin glitch where if you're swapping between two machines, it can uh, show the green square in one spot and the radio buttons in another.
Kind of.
And I'm pretty sure Loco's seen that.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. If you switch out devices, it will not switch over. It'll actually move your origin, which sucks. Frame, baby, frame.
Oh, I framed the heck out of it, and it framed perfect.
I kept waiting for this
Hmm.
glass.
Oh, really?
To go poosh.
Yep.
But it didn't start in the right spot.
Right. It did almost like when I've had it before where it was set to no return, after a job's complete, but it framed, and it's one of these like odd shaped glasses for beer. And, I was always checking. I had my piece of tape to make sure that my steps were right. And then every time I framed it, I would check to make sure it came back to the center point. And it did fine there, and framed it again, pulled the tape off, hit the start button, and it over rotated the other way and started engraving the start. And I was like, well, that one's ruined because it's a lot faster than I was. So all I had to do was click on that 9 radio button back and forth off of what I wanted and back to it, and it was happy. I sent the job again. I was done. And I was in that
I think
1.31.
I know the only
I might
Have
time
have
we
you,
called it.
switch is like tumblers are done in the 130, glass is done in the 80. We got
Do you,
much better results out of the 80 with Loco's steps than
Does
we
it
did
work?
with the 130.
It does work, right?
What's that? Focusing and
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah, there. and we experimented even more. I mean, we tried other lenses, different focus lengths, and got decent results. So we're comfortable doing rocks glasses now.
I want to change this up a little bit. We're going up to 800
Sorry.
millimeters per second.
You gonna pop that corn, huh?
I want to pop the corn for sure.
Yeah.
What if you went to a more focused lens to create more heat in a specific spot? Would that not help?
It's burning it. It's burning. We just need to have heat.
You may have to lower the bed. It won't diffuse a whole lot.
It's down.
Is it down?
Yeah, all the way.
Yeah.
But is that
Probably-
popcorn? Is that popcorn raw, or has it got butter or oil on it? Because it could have been igniting the butter, or the oil is what I was wondering.
It could be.
Like an
It's got
article
butter
sent
on
in.
Like we'll write an article on how to do it correctly.
Butter-free versus buttered.
We need the
Or
MSDS on
like,
them
oh
all,
God.
man.
Is this Dollar General version or is this the good stuff?
I remember growing up as like, was the big thing of going out in the kitchen and having the cast iron skillet and a little bit of oil and the popcorn and throwing a pizza pan or something over top of it and just shaking it back and forth across my aunt's stove. And because that's where
they
all
did
the
it back in the
get-togethers were
20s?
always at. Yeah. And that's how and that was the best taste in popcorn that there was. I'm sure Danny had it that way. And that was the best taste in popcorn that there was. And an old cast iron skillet on a stove.
With some
Yeah.
bacon fat in there.
This makes it taste better.
Yeah.
It's
Well, if
noisy
we
as
figure
shit.
it out, we got to put those settings in the materials library.
We really should
Sorry,
have
my
China
air
put it in
compressor
the main
See
one.
if people are
the
actually paying
PDF.
attention. It's like wood, acrylic, popcorn kernels. Full of them.
You're gonna say this is our next adventure. Turning
like
on and off lights on the inside.
Oh, what is that? Is that a button?
Yep. It's an illuminated push button. Once it's
Okay,
wired
I got
in,
you.
it'll be blue.
Hmm.
I got you.
That way we can actually see the red dot on certain materials.
Yeah. Well, I put a one of the alarm magnetic switches on my K40s so that when you'd raise the lid, the light would come on, but when you close it, it would turn off.
I'm gonna do good to learn how to solder and do all this in that
Well-
tight little spot. Oh crap.
That looks like a science experiment.
Now you got to eat it.
You
Yeah.
can't make me.
That looks like dry ice coming up out of there.
I bet it
But
smells good.
wonderful too. Yeah. Nothing like burnt popcorn. That lingers for days. But
Oh,
hey,
the
Tommy,
microwave popcorn. When you burn it, yeah, that's
Yeah.
around forever.
Yeah, my
you
in-laws are
need-
notorious for setting their microwave on fire with popcorn.
if you need connectors, they're SM2s. I got a slew of them. If you want to send the button, I can put connectors on that button for you.
Oh, so you can just
Versus
wire it up
soldering.
in series with it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's plug and play.
Hang
Yeah.
on a minute. You said SM2s?
Yeah. Or I guess SM 2-pinners.
Hey, if it makes my life easier, I'll just order the damn things.
Okay. Yeah, they have the little crimp kits. They're probably $30, whatever. Come with an array of them.
We have extra buttons too, though.
Yeah, and if not, I was gonna have to cut everything and solder it and shrink wrap it and
But you bought the soldering kit.
for your LED damn.
That's one more tool. One more tool.
To make
Is it
the
for
LED
wood burning?
light that we haven't made yet.
Or are you gonna throw in some extras to light it up? Really good.
Hey, I've thought
Don't
about
need any.
putting in, different LEDs to make it dance. It'd be great for videos. I won't do it. My neighbor will do it. I'm not wiring that crap.
I do have an odd question. The
Oh, boy.
deflector that's behind, I'm actually being good. The deflector that's behind the main panel, the top panel, the air dam deflector, is that there because of the FDA and laser refractions, or is there actually a purpose there to pull that air down and in instead of across the
Oh,
table? The diffuser that's right behind the door
On
that
the
you
inlet.
on the
yeah,
on the
the inlet.
louver door, that's for
Yeah,
FDA, I would think, because of the opening. Because you kind of want the air to come in around the top, and over the surface of the over the
because
stuff.
that deflects it
As
straight down and in as soon as it
Yeah,
pulls it
and
down and
because
in.
it's open at the top, so it's coming
No, it's
out of it.
closed.
No, it's
No, it's
Is
closed.
closed
it?
completely. It's only pulling
Mine?
straight down and in.
Oh, mine's open. See, but I've got a 4-year-old machine.
Yeah,
Make
if
sure
it's
yours
boxed in,
isn't
except
flipped
for the
over
yeah,
Huh?
make sure yours isn't upside down.
because it's a 4-bolt mirrored flange, so you could potentially just have yours flipped over. Not the door itself, but the
Right.
add-on
I'll
piece.
look at it.
Because I've
That-
seriously, because I've talked to Tommy about it. It just watching the airflow, and I've yet to try it. Of actually just taking that off and seeing how it changes the airflow coming across.
It doesn't.
Should pull
Remember,
better.
I did it that day.
It doesn't
I
make it
couldn't
any
Really?
better.
Because I've noticed if I crack the top, because I just with me being in heating and air, just experimenting. But if I open the top of my lid and stick a 3/4 inch board right up underneath that lip to hold that door up exactly 3/4 of an inch, it completely
Mhm.
changes the airflow
Well,
dynamics, and it actually sucks the smoke
I,
better than it
I
does.
I think that is more indicative of the total area of the louvers than it is that baffle. That baffle likely moves a lot more air volume than those louvers can bring in. So by opening the thing, you're actually introducing more air from the outside because you're not being restricted by whatever the volume the louvers can handle. You see what I mean? I don't think it's the
Yeah,
baffle.
but it's the baffles pushing the air down, straight down as soon as it comes in. It's not actually letting it go
Right.
across the top of the vent.
It can affect, yeah, it can definitely affect the air movement for sure.
And granted,
It
I've only
sounds
got a
like,
35, so I didn't know if it would be different with the 5163. The larger ones with the volumes of air coming through, um, with having a larger port in the back and all that stuff. I was just
yeah.
curious, and I figured it had something to do with safety having that on there.
Yeah, so the little kids can't look through it.
I didn't know if it was for that
Get
or for crotch
shot in the
shots.
eyeball.
And it may be dual purpose. There may be some benefit to the airflow. I mean, it's got to be there for a reason. They wouldn't waste the time and metal to put it on there. As
But
specifically exactly why, I don't know.
that's why I was wondering
But
if it was like, worried about NADRADs and having to deal with that
I,
type of an issue.
I would spend more time putting that on there if I needed to do it as a requirement than if I thought it would make a difference in the airflow. So I think it has more to do with the FDA, so it'll pass that
Right.
class 2
Because it's not
certification.
like a
Well,
solid piece. It's not like it's made in there is a solid piece. It was like an add-on
it's
due to
Hmm.
regulations.
Hmm.
right. So I have the answer for the popcorn. It worked.
Converted
It
it
made
into
whiskey.
bourbon.
I don't know
Is
how
that
it
corn
happened.
whiskey?
It is. I don't know how it happened.
You definitely
Chris,
need to do an article on
send me
that
that
one.
link.
We are all rich.
Yeah, Brian, delete this video really fast.
It was gonna
Oh,
get deleted anyway.
yeah.
It is swearing in the beginning.
Oh yes, that's right.
He almost spit out on his monitor.
And it wasn't me this time.
Brian,
No.
what
Well,
shirt you got on?
Me?
me?
Yeah, Brian.
The same the same one.
From yesterday?
Uh-huh.
No.
Have you left your desk? Did
Yes.
you sleep there?
Briefly.
Hey,
No.
Tom,
I
Tommy,
might have dozed off.
I got a customer sheet down. Are you wanting to do anything afterwise, Tommy? Bullshitting wise talking.
I'm good.
Okay, because I got a
I
customer
got
coming
to
in. I'll
clean up.
probably
We're
go
about
on.
to get storms.
Okay. Yeah, so Brian, don't worry about throwing it over to me because I don't know how long I'll be.
Okay. Word.
Okay,
I
Well,
doke.
guess
I'm
we'll
figuring
close
this
at the
fiber out.
appropriate time today.
instead of 9
What's
to
that,
10
Grant?
o'clock.
I'm figuring the fiber laser out finally. Just got to get those new materials in. I think I've mastered the 2 materials that I have. Been working on them for several weeks now. Got it down.
What do
I
you need?
really
What do you
want to do a
need?
gun. Huh?
What do you need?
Well, I ordered that brass stuff. I think it's going to be here today. Black aluminum business cards. I'll just do my own gun. I'll play around with it. But I forgot to take a picture of my putter. I'm going to be engraving. I don't know if everybody else has seen a milled golf putter, but like the face of it is all milled. And I have a putter at home that's just flat. So I thought it'd make a cool video to mill it. So I just got to go take a picture of it so we can get a good idea of how to build the file.
Is that aluminum or
Nice deep
titanium?
engrave.
I don't know.
Dude, you should do a 3D relief of like a skull in the middle or something, or a golf ball. But it has to be even. I know if you're going to actually play with it, you probably want the
Well,
surface to
I
have
could
some sort
probably
of
do something crazy on like the sides of it. The middle is what has to be good, but the sides I could
Mhm.
do something crazy. Because if I hit it on the sides, I'm not doing very good.
like a cracked golf ball coming out of it. You know what I mean? With
That would be
dimples on it and
cool.
stuff. Something like that.
hmm
That'd be cool.
The detail
I
on
don't
this
know. I
thing is
look forward to
absurd, so
doing
we
my
can do
own.
it.
I look forward to doing my own pistols.
Yep. But how do people clean it? Like I've seen somebody use like oil to clean the residue out of the metals. I don't
I
know.
got buffing wheels and stuff. I used to make knives, so I have all the stuff to polish up metal and things of that nature.
I try
Okay.
to make my cleaning pass do it as much as possible because I'm still old school and I grab a terry cloth rag, a microfiber cloth and spray something on it and go to wipe and I get all that stuff stuck in there where it's still a little rough, like on the deep engraving. It gets kind of rough. I probably could dial it in a little more on the cleaning passes though. Some people put some things in, don't they use those tumblers and put the abrasive media in it and polish it that
Yep.
way? Like
Yep.
doing coins sometimes to get
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff out.
Speaking of Loco, you got to send me
Yep.
a link to those coins.
Ah, shit.
If
I
it's the
want to do
same
a
one,
metal credit card.
we're out of stock on a lot of things.
Clay actually had one that he just received that was a metal card engraved by Chase. We need to try to reach
Hmm.
out to these banks and see if they want to buy a machine.
Yeah, yeah.
Myers will
Uh,
love it. I have an Apple credit card that's metal that I can engrave.
yeah. I was gonna buy some from this kit, this guy where you take the card, the security, the SIM card or whatever out and put it in the new one and you can program the magnetic strip if you want to and everything. But I don't see somebody paying what 50, 60, 70, 80, $100 for a metal Visa card.
You would be
Yeah, they
surprised.
sell those cards.
What's that?
Yeah, apparently people do.
Yeah. Well, we got 6 more minutes. Does
Apparently people
anybody
pay
have any
because they're
laser
people that you
questions?
see online on the socials that move those cards.
Yeah. Dude, you were like that. You you glitched out, or is that me?
No, he's glitching.
I was
Chris is in
glitching
the matrix.
earlier.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, if y'all want, for the last 5 minutes, we can see how many backflips I can do.
Backflips?
Yeah.
Oh
I'll put on
God.
a
Okay,
show
go.
for you.
Go. I'll count.
Hey, before you turn upside down, I gotta hand it. I sent Aubrey an email, and I never expected a response that damn quick that early in the morning. So I gotta hand it to her.
Awesome. Yeah, I don't like taking time responding to people. Calls, emails, whatever it is. We want to be on it. I mean,
I had a
in the
simple
world where
question about.
people don't always know the differences between the machines, but if they call every single company, I want to be the company that answers immediately.
Yeah, she was quick, and I didn't even think y'all were open yet.
Probably not.
We're all checking our emails all the time. I was emailing people at like 12 a.m. the other day. I know Brian and them do it all the time. Or 12 p.m. I guess.
12
A.m.
AM.
a.m.
You guys are on Texas time. That's some weird shit down there.
Yeah.
Real time. That's what that is. The real time. So
That's what, fast time? Yeah, here.
No, we're on fast time. They're on slow time. That's what they call it around here.
so
All right. Well, I'm out. I gotta call some people back.
what about
I sent you
the
that link.
backflips?
I'll do them off camera. Just imagine what it looks like.
No, I'm
No,
not.
yeah, you got to do it.
I'm going to hold you to it. Yeah, we'll just have you back next week. He's straight cut out.
Damn. Look at Myers.
He's like Max Headroom.
Now he blinked.
He did blink. That is so weird. Like you have less hair now than you normally do. Oh shit.
And now his mic's not working.
What are you talking about?
Oh, dude, that delay is insane. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, that is funny.
Say something. Say a nursery rhyme, Chris. Is he doing it?
TikTok, the mouse ran up the clock.
I'm waiting for his lips to start moving
Yeah.
now.
Isn't that funny? I'm just happy I'm not the only one with
I
technical
talked.
issues today.
I talked. I said
Yeah, but
TikTok,
we don't
the mouse
see
ran
it.
up the clock.
We don't see it.
His head just moved without any sound.
There we go. Hey, you're back to normal now.
That helps.
See if your mouth is
No.
it's still like
That
a bad Chinese movie.
Mm. Speaking of the Chinese movies, that's a good series.
So,
It was funny in the
well,
beginning. Now it's annoying.
Hopefully
we
Jim got
got
to see
we
my
got
fancy printer.
2 more minutes. 1 more minute to. Are y'all making fun of me? Okay, hold on a
No,
second.
I appreciate